We are live. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope you had a wonderful holiday. Great holiday week with friends, family, and relaxation. I'm excited about this month. I have a themed month for you to prepare for 2023. And today we are talking about the 3 steps to create consciously in 2023 and make it your best year yet. So I was reflecting on the last year and, like many of you, doing our end of year planning. And I was reflecting on what areas of my life have changed as far as what do I find I've improved in and am creating more consciously compared to, this time a year ago. And one of the things that came to mind that I wanted to share with you today was in my relationship with my husband. And like many of you, I get busy, and I was reflecting on last year. And one of the things that was very prevalent was, I was busy doing all sorts of things, and my relationship very easily gets put on the back burner, right? Because I know it's going to be there, and I need to generate the sales and the opportunity and all of the things that we do as entrepreneurs. And what I found myself doing as I started to get tired, as I started to, want more from my husband and my relationship, is I found myself that I wasn't giving much time to my relationship because I was so busy. And any of you that are watching with me or get the replay, comment below if you can relate to this. But I started to actually blame him for the status of our relationship. I was complaining, right? It's like, when are we going on a date? When are you going to cook dinner? When are you going to do XYZ? And it was like I was making it his fault that our relationship wasn't progressing like I wanted it. And as I was reflecting in preparation for today, I wanted to bring this to the conversation today because I know, like many of you, it can be easy to move certain parts of our lives forward and believe that other things in our life have to sacrifice in the pursuit of our greatness, in the pursuit of our goals. And this was the case with my husband, right? I was busy launching this new venture, and I wanted to, instead of take the responsibility that I wasn't attending to our relationship, put that blame on him. And so it really hit me. I wasn't creating consciously. I was looking externally for someone or something to blame. And I was doing this so I didn't have to focus on myself. I didn't have to fix me. I didn't have to look at the reality of, okay, I'm not investing what I want to invest in my relationship, and that's on me. And so that's why I want to share with you really the 3 things that you can do to create more consciously in 2023. And like many of you, I'm talking about the relationship, but this directly affects our business. When I'm talking about the relationship, it's no different in business, right? We push some things forward. We're juggling, the 3 balls, one of them has to drop. And that's not the case. If we can start instead from a conscious space, if we can start instead of being more intentional on the front end, batching and calendaring and taking steps to build out our life, to structure our life, things don't have to fall for other things to win. And so the 3 things that I'm going to talk to you about today are what you want and why, how to prioritize your internal state, and to stop looking outside of yourself. So these are the 3 things that you can take ownership of today. You can change today. You can really wrap your arms around today and go into even the end of this year, even today, even tomorrow, and be more conscious as you're creating your days, your weeks, and your months. Everyone else is telling you to pick a goal and go after it. And I'm telling you that you can't just pick any goal. It has to be a goal that's in alignment with you and your highest purpose. So I'd like you to write down all of the things that are on your someday list. All of those things you've been thinking about. Just grab a piece of paper and write down what are the things that you've wanted to do in 2022 and you're going to get to it. Maybe there are some things on the vision board that you put on your vision board at the end of 2021, start of 2022. What if those things you could actually achieve in 2023? So that's why I want you to grab that list, because your someday goals are now your today goals. If you start looking at what you really want and making sure that what you want is in alignment with your highest purpose and who you really are, versus what everyone else is telling you, right? Which is pick the goal, put the goal on the vision board, achieve them one by one. If you do that, you're going to feel empty after you achieve the goal. If you take the time to consciously create up front, you will achieve the goal and you will feel as if you're building your empire instead of building your sandcastle. Taking the time to really get clear on what you want is going to help you build your empire and not your sandcastle. When you take the time to do this and you really start thinking about what you want versus the goals, and I'll give you a quick example, is when you think about what you want, you have to go inward. You have to go inside. And it's not about others. It's not about other people. It's not about the approval you might get, the validation you might get, or even the money you might get. What do you want just because you want it? Not because anyone else thinks it's right or wrong, but what do you want only because you want it? And that's why I asked you to grab that piece of paper and make a list of those goals or those things that have been put off, that are someday goals. And ask yourself, why do I want this? Does it resonate? And is it in alignment with who I really am? The second thing I want to talk to you about today is prioritizing your internal state. You need to spend more time on your internal world than on your external world. We are so good at going out and doing things. What is foreign to us is to take time in the morning or even in the evening and reflect and connect to how we're doing and how we're feeling. And for me, I want to share what I do every day so that this can be a really quick action packed session as we go through this today. For me, every day, I do a 10-minute ritual every morning, no matter where I am in the world. And I check in on myself and I ask myself a question. And this question truly is the pinnacle of launching any new initiative within the company. It's checking myself if I'm being a good wife, friend, daughter, sister. This is what I ask myself. Are my emotions, my thoughts, my actions, and my beliefs all in alignment to realize what I want to achieve? 10 minutes in the morning, I ask myself this question. Are my emotions, my thoughts, my actions, and beliefs all in alignment with what I'm trying to achieve? And I like to visualize these questions, emotions, thoughts, actions, beliefs. I like to imagine them as boxes. And if any of them are not level, so let's say that emotions are a little lower because I had a long day yesterday, I need to check myself. And then I ask myself, what needs to happen to make it so all of the boxes line up? If my emotions, thoughts, actions, and beliefs all line up in these little boxes that I'm giving you an image of, I will realize my goal. No doubt about it, nothing in my way. That is the secret sauce. So I take 10 minutes and I check myself. Are those in alignment? And if not, ask myself which one is out of alignment. And bringing awareness to that allows me to get myself back on track in the morning and go into the day conscious of my internal world instead of my to-do list. It's time to be conscious of your internal world and where you're coming from, because that state is affecting your clients, your team, and your results. And if you don't attend to your internal state, that is chaos waiting to happen. If you're willing to take 10 minutes in the morning and ask yourself this question, are my emotions, actions, thoughts, and beliefs, are they in boxes all lined up next to each other? You will be more conscious where you're coming from. And what that means is that your day will be more intentionally designed versus being in reaction. The final point that I want to bring to your attention today is to stop looking outside of yourself. This is a big component of what we work with our clients in our group program. And it's one of the things people like you get hung up on. And the reason that I wanted to bring this to your attention today is because we are conditioned to look outside of us. Blame the outside, like I said earlier in my example, with my husband and spending time with him. And we believe that life is happening to us. We don't have a choice. We're constantly in obligation to the people and the responsibilities in our life. I pulled a quote from Viktor Frankl because I think he says it beautifully. Between stimulus and response lies a space. In that space lies our freedom and power to choose a response. In our response lies our growth and our happiness. In that space that Viktor Frankl identified so beautifully is our ability to claim our ownership and ability to see that we have the power to slow things down and stop living our life based on external, whatever it is, validation, approval, belonging, acceptance. These things apply to all of us as humans, and it's how we were conditioned to judge if we're winning is what's going on externally based on our results, our success, all external measure. The game is inside. It's time that we start playing that game inside. I want to take you just through a quick exercise to illustrate to you what I'm talking about. If you have the ability to close your eyes, this is much more powerful that way, but I'm going to run through this so that you can do it no matter if you're driving. If you're driving, no closing your eyes, okay? Reflect on a moment today or in the past week when someone made a request of you or there was a demand placed on you in your day. It could be anything from an email you received to a team member requesting something from you. That request is what we're calling the stimulus. We live in a society that tells us we are good if we respond quickly. We're going to call this a knee-jerk reaction for this reflection exercise. Now, I want to bring your attention to this fact that even if you are not responding externally, something happens inside of you, whether you respond or you don't respond to a request that is being made of you. That internal piece then develops a story. I want you to bring your attention there. Now, see that you have a space between reacting or responding to the demand. There is a space, whether it's how you're going to reply, how you're going to handle the demand. That is where your power resides. That is the internal world I'm speaking of. And that is where you have the power of choice. Between stimulus and response lies a space. That is our space of how to choose to not do things because of the external world, but to be intentional about what we're reacting and responding to based upon the space we allow. I'm not talking hours. Sometimes it's not even minutes. Sometimes it's just noticing the space after there is a stimulus, after there is a request. Before you reply, notice the space and notice that you have a choice. of how to respond, how you want to handle the situation. And that is where your power resides. So if you're with me, comment below of how you want to create more consciously in 2023. What's a priority for you in 2023? What are you going to do differently than you did in 2022? Whether it's business, personally, what is it? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what's on your mind, what's brewing for you as we end this incredible, unique year. It's been a year of so much change for a lot of people, and expansion, contraction, a lot of different experiences. So share with me what's happening for you. Create consciously in 2023 so that you can build the life you keep telling people you're going to. Create consciously in 2023 so that you can achieve the goals you keep telling yourself you're going to achieve. Keep creating consciously in 2023. Join me. Let's create more consciously in this new year and use this month to prepare to be more conscious and finally realize the life, dreams, and goals that we deserve to achieve.